We sometimes take it for granted that the economy will go through huge booms followed by busts in which many of the wild business schemes from the boom fall apart. But what if that's not a natural or necessary cycle? What if the massive injections of new dollars printed by the Federal Reserve actually causes these artificial booms? Back to talk about that are our freedom fighters, Nancy Skinner, Mychal Massie, Don Boudreaux. Professor Boudreaux, to you first. The Federal Reserve interest rate is so low, it's so cheap, money is so easy to get. Doesn't that actually encourage businesses not only to be risky, but to be reckless with other people's money?
Absolutely. When the Fed prints money, that is like a hallucinogen in the economy. It makes people think that opportunities are greater than they are. And so we get these wildly ridiculous investment schemes that are not sustainable. They have to be sloughed off. That's part of the problem for the current downturn. It's a disgrace that the Fed prints money like the way it does.
Mychal, should we be at the mercy of the Federal Reserve's printing machine? We don't know how much they print. We don't know where the money goes. We don't know who they give it to. The only thing we know is the interest rates they charge. But whenever they print money, don't they devalue the cash that's already in our wallets and in our bank accounts?
Well, that's exactly what they do. And no, we should not be at their mercy. Spending has become the elixir of the day. People are spending to make themselves feel good, juxtaposed to saving and looking forward to a time that they can live on their reserves. They're become the grasshoppers of today, spending and buying big ticket items that they do not need, they cannot afford, based on a false sense of security in devalued money.
Now, Nancy, I'm not going to hold you responsible for just what the Democrats did, because there are as many big government Republicans who are in love with the Fed as there are big government Democrats. But do we really need a Fed? Should we be at the mercy of these 5 secretive people, or 7, who meet in a secret room in Washington, D.C., and decide secretly how much money to print and decide secretly how much interest to charge?
Well, I agree with you on the transparency, Judge, and that's why they're calling for a one-time audit. But I do
Let me
believe
stop you right there. Let me stop you right there. Do you support Congressman Ron Paul and Congressman Barney Frank's audit, which was a full audit from stem to stern of everything the Fed has done since 1913?
Yes, I do. I don't see any reason why we shouldn't take a snapshot. Now, I don't think they should be regulated or controlled on an ongoing basis, but a complete cloak of secrecy is not appropriate. But the reason we have a Fed, and the reason the Fed can play with the money supply, or M1, and keep interest rates low right now when we have unemployment at 9.5%, is that money is lent to businesses who then create jobs, and people need that low. If you were to raise interest rates right now, and unemployment would go even higher.
Mychal.
And we don't have inflation as a scare right now.
Got it, Nancy. Mychal.
But Nancy, that's not what's happening. that is not what's happening. The only jobs that are being created are government jobs, and we all know the government cannot create jobs. We're looking at in excess of 2.5 million government jobs. We're looking at somewhere around 143,000 jobs in the private sector. That is
if you raised interest rates,
that is disproportionate. But we cannot.
You think that if you raised it, then that private jobs would be created if you raised interest rates?
We cannot continue to print worthless money, encouraging people to spend what they do not have. We must concentrate on saving. We must concentrate in living within our means, and that starts with the government living within the means of the money that they get from us. We cannot continue on this landslide spending.
Don, the government will never live within its means if it has its own printing press, right?
That's right. I mean, if you can print money to pay off your debts, why bother to do something difficult like taxing? And so government, we've had consistent deficits really for the past almost 50 years, with a few exceptions. And it's because politicians cannot live within their means. They have a printing press.
Should we abolish the Fed and let the free market decide what interest rates are, and let have commodity-backed money?
Yes, we do not need a central bank.
Absolutely.
Not at all.
Could we change that tomorrow?
Absolutely, agree.
Well, not politically, but economically we could.
Economically we could.
Not globally. We are
hang on, Nancy. Mychal, you're with me on ending the Fed? Mychal?
I beg your pardon?
You're with us on ending the Fed?
Absolutely, absolutely. End it tomorrow, and it can be done, and we can get back to
Nancy.
to,
15 seconds, Nancy. The last word.
We're in a global economic financial community, those central banks all collaborate to make sure the system doesn't collapse.
Got
We
it.
can't get rid of it tomorrow.
Got it.
Therein
Guys,
lies the problem.
thank you very much for joining us. We appreciate it.